Thanksgiving week is here, and there's plenty of star attractions on the menu across the world of golf. Spieth, Day, Sergio, all in action. We'll tell you where and when you can see them.
And speaking of Thanksgiving, this cook performed his best in the heat of competition. We'll tell you why this PGA Tour winner almost never became a professional golfer.
Also ahead, Lexi Thompson has a million reasons to be thankful after her best career LPGA season. But will this short miss haunt her holidays? Her answer is coming up.
Plus, before we look ahead, we look back at the best of 2017. The career-defining moments we witnessed. A full menu of golf right now on Golf Central.
Golf Central. Brought to you by Titleist.
Here are the top storylines heading into this week's Australian Open. Jordan Spieth is the defending champion, making his first appearance since the President's Cup. The Aussie Jason Day seeking his first win of 2017, his last winless year way back in 2012. And this tournament has major implications. The top 3 players among the top 10 finishers who are not already qualified for the 2018 Open at Carnoustie will punch their ticket into golf's oldest major. With that, we say hello, welcome to Golf Central. Hope you're having a great Monday. Lisa Cornwell, Tim Rosefort, Matt Adams, Trip Eisenhower will join us in just a moment. Rosie, we are going to get to see Spieth this week, but it will be a different look for him. No Michael Greller on the bag, but for good reason.
A lot of pressure on Cam McCormick, who's taken over. Normally, the instructor, Michael Greller, sitting this one out, had the baby at home, so he's going to be doing the right thing there. But talking to McCormick today, in Australia, a lot of pressure on not only because he's going to be carrying that big bag, that big tour bag, 70-pound bag. He didn't want to take the smaller bag because he'd feel like he'd take too much heat. And then also, Jay Danzy filled in a couple years ago in Singapore in the oppressive heat and got a second-place finish. So nothing better than second's going to do. He's got to win the golf tournament this week, or he's going to take some heat within his camp. Good-natured heat, of course. And then finally, talking to McCormick, this is going to be a learning experience for both of them, kind of a laboratory. See stuff inside the ropes that he's not going to see outside the ropes that he can employ when they get to Hawaii in a month, and then later on throughout the course of the tour season. It'll be a good experience for him. Greller did chip in and give him help. He gave him the yardage books from 2015, but said, we got a good record there. Don't screw it up.
You think he'll mess with him? Throw some bricks in the bottom of the bag? Yeah. McCormick's not a big guy.
No, he's not, but he's in shape. And I asked Damon Goddard, his strength coach, if he was doing extra calf raisers, and he just kind of laughed it off. Let's see how Cam does over the course of 72 holes, plus the practice rounds.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun to watch. And you mentioned Jordan's success on this golf course that happened back in 2014. But Rosie, how about his last 8 worldwide starts? They've been pretty impressive. In 32 rounds played, he's led or co-led 10 times. In all but 2 of those rounds, he's been inside the top 10. Don't miss Jordan Spieth in his title defense in the Australian Open with a special Wednesday start right here in the U.S. Our first round coverage begins live in prime time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. As of yesterday, all 4 season-ending races have been decided. Justin Thomas captured the PGA Tour's FedEx Cup and its $10 million bonus. Lexi Thompson finished where she stood for most of the year at the top of the race to the CME Globe standings. Tommy Fleetwood held off Justin Rose in the race to Dubai, and for the first time in 4 years, the Charles Schwab Cup did not go to Bernhard Langer. Instead, it was Kevin Sutherland who took home the prize. Here are these winners in their own words.
It was an unbelievable season. I can't believe how fast it went by. I mean, I'm done with my 3rd season on the PGA Tour already, and I told Jimmy walking up 16 fairway, you know, I had a great shot in there and had a chance to make a birdie and get a little closer to the lead. And, you know, I said that, you know, this is a lot of fun. This is why we play. And how crazy it was. We started the year with a 75 in Napa and looking like I'm going to miss the cut, and I end up shooting 66 to make the cut on the number. And We've definitely come a long way since that 75.
I know the list of champions on here is incredible too, and so just to be on that same list as those great players is a humbling thing. I'm the luckiest man in the world. Every time I come out here and play, I think I can't believe they're letting me do this, because this is just I have so much fun, and it's been a great experience, and the Champions Tour is just it's so much fun. It's just so laid back, and the camaraderie amongst the players is amazing.
This week I finished 21st and had I had a bad Sunday, and then you've won the race to Dubai. It's like a really weird scenario where And like I say, it's still not sunk in, but the actual, we've been saying it for a while, the achievement of winning a year-long accomplishment is massive.
That's probably the most I learned in any year, honestly. Probably just to never give up. No matter what you're put through, you can always push through anything if you go through it with the right attitude and just keep on moving forward. You know, I'm not gonna lie and say that some things didn't get me really down and I struggled with, but I had to keep on moving on, keep on practicing, keep on training, because I knew I had the talent and I had to show that. And you know, I love this crazy game and what it puts me through. And I love the challenge of it.
Yeah, it definitely is a challenge, whether you're playing professionally or not, as we welcome in our resident pro here, Trip Eisenhower and Matt Adams. Okay, we heard from the season-ending winners. How about the best of 2017? Let's start on the PGA Tour.
No, there's no question it's Justin Thomas. I mean, when you look at what he did in 2017, it's amazing. And the 2016-17 season, so many records, the Hawaii sweep, shooting 59. You go through it. The 63 at the U.S. Open, I mean, at the time, now that got eclipsed at the Open, I understand that. But winning his first major in grand style at the PGA, when you look at Justin Thomas, you go, okay, well, he's played 96 times and he's won 7 times. That's about a 7% win clip on the PGA Tour. Compare that to Jordan Spieth, it's 8%. Now let's don't compare it to the otherworldly, which is Tiger Woods, which through his first 100 was about 30%. But 7% to 8.5% so far winning percentage. I mean, he's starting to gain momentum, and anybody thought that there would be a hangover. He's already won in the 2017-18 season, so there's no hangover for Justin Thomas. Look out, he's becoming a perennial force on the PGA
Well,
Tour.
I could pick up on that theme in terms of what he might do in 2018. What he did do in this season at the CJ Cup at Nine Bridges, which I thought was really showing his mettle. Remember what he said at the end? He said, I officially have nothing left in the tank after everything that he had already accomplished. But in the playoff against Mark Leishman, you remember that Leishman had 257 and he put his in the water. Justin had 243 left for his shot into the wind, went for the green, got home, secured the victory. And afterwards he said to that, I didn't travel all this way to make this a 3-shot hole. I think it does foreshadow what he's going to do in 2018 calendar year. I wrote to Justin today, I sent him a text and said, on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you put your excitement for 2018? He wrote back and said, Rosie, a 10. Successful, confident, fearless. That's a pretty potent combination.
I mean, how can you not be? I had a chance to go down and was assigned to interview Justin after he won the Player of the Year award, and then to think he's going to be walking home with that Jack Nicklaus trophy for Player of the Year award. He's got the FedEx Cup trophy already there. He's got the Wanamaker as well. You'd be happy too, right? And the best thing about it for me, I thought, was the step he took out of the Jordan Spieth shadow. For the first time as a pro, anyway. Played equal in college, but everybody's been in love with Jordan, and rightfully so. And Justin stepped up in a big way, obviously, in 2017.
He was obviously incredible, but was any player more dominant in the entire game of golf than Bernhard Langer, Matt?
No, I don't think any, not in their respective tour. I don't think any player was any more dominant than what Bernhard was able to do. You know, they say that Father Time is undefeated, but I think against a 60-year-old Bernhard Langer right now, they're about all square. Here's the interesting thing about Bernhard Langer that a lot of people do not realize. He's always been a trailblazer. He was born in August of 1957. At that time, Germany was still recovering from the deep scars of the Second World War. And at that time, they had people in position from the government that would help young people along their path to make sure they got the education that they needed, the apprenticeship that they needed, and ultimately the jobs that they wanted for their respective profession. He sat down in front of one of these individuals, and the man said, what is it you want to do? I want to be a touring pro, chasing glory around the world. The man looked at him just blankly. He really didn't know how to respond to what he had just been told to do. And as a result from that, he searched these massive volumes, leafing through them to try to find a profession that would be a touring pro. He couldn't find it. even then, Bernhard Langer was able to match up vision with the dedication and the work to blaze a trail. Blazing trails obviously isn't new for Bernhard Langer. He continues to do it.
A couple of years ago, they said, can he surpass Hale Irwin? At the time, he was 22 wins behind him. I said, no, that's not going to happen. Well, 11 wins later after 2 seasons at 60, he's 9 behind right now. I mean, you got to think now. You're saying there's a chance. I mean, right now, I think he could do it. I mean, you look at how he's been prepared to play at such a high level. That's what his peers in their late 50s and early 60s are amazed at, Tim. He still has the dedication and preparation that he's been doing since 18 years old. At 60 with no let-off. It's amazing.
It's amazing to have the 50s in your rearview mirror and you're coming off 7 wins and 3 major championships. A year ago, I talked to him down at Adios, his club down in Boca, and he talked about the Irwin record, and he said, it's probable, but probably not possible. And guess what? It is now probable and possible.
Yeah.
You've been practicing?
Yeah, that was very good.
Thank you.
Very good. Yeah.
All right, well done around the table. What about on the LPGA Tour? This one I think is a little bit more difficult because we have co-players of the year, and then we have what Lexi Thompson did. Trip, which direction would you go in terms of picking a player?
Well, before that, I do want to say I hope the LPGA looks at if they ever do have a tie. Hard to believe you can have a tie when it's a points race. Then I think it should go to a player vote. But hats off to both the players. But mine is S.H. Park for so many reasons. First of all, what she's done as a rookie, wrap up Rookie of the Year, win Player of the Year, even though it's co-Player of the Year, and you put your name next to Nancy Lopez, first player to do that since 1978. Amazing. This golf swing, though, it's one of the best in the business, male or female. There are not 7 golf swings on the planet better than that one. She's long, she's straight, she hits driver fearlessly, and she hits it in places that has the announcers scratching their heads going, oh my gosh, she's hitting driver there, and she pulls it off with confidence. She's got a major already in her rookie year. S.H. Park, look out, the sky is, the future is very bright for this young lady as long as she can keep it up. We've seen these players have these great seasons and get in the spotlight, and then it kind of get too bright for them. We've seen it happen. I don't think it's going to happen to her.
I'm taking a close look at Lexi Thompson. Here she is at 22 years old. I know that everybody is going to be looking at what happened with the 2-foot, 3-foot putt, if you will, yesterday. But I think they're forgetting the fact that here she won the VAR Trophy with low scoring average of 69.114. That is the lowest all time on the LPGA. So to try to get some perspective on what we saw, I reached out to Mike Wan, the commissioner of the LPGA, and said, how impressed should we be with everything that happened, given the fact that it's easy for people, I think, to lose focus on what's really going on. He said the following. He said, quote, to win the VAR Trophy in a year when 12 players averaged under 70 is remarkable. The previous record on the LPGA was 5 players under 70. As to the putt, he said the following. She already faced the toughest test at the ANA and still won the CME Globe and the VAR Trophy. A 3-foot putt won't get in the way of her lofty goals. And then he concluded by saying, she's committed to the process of improvement and no one works harder. If she was a stock, you would buy it. I completely agree.
I'm going in a little different direction. I'm talking about 1 golf tournament, 1 win this year. It wasn't even a major championship, but what Stacey Lewis did up in Portland, winning for the first time in almost 3 years, and then taking the entire first place check and donating it to the relief fund in Houston, Texas, her hometown, after the floods, spoke a lot about her and her future as a winner on the LPGA Tour, and also in present tense in terms of the significance of what that meant to our country and her community at that time.
I don't know if you believe in karma, but it's kind of hard not to believe in karma after that. Rosie, you mentioned it. She hadn't won in almost 3 years. And then she goes, with all the pressure, because she gets asked about it every single week. Right. And then she goes out and wins. So look, it was a great story, a great moment. One of the greatest moments in sports, I think.
And a great year for the LPGA, by the way.
Absolutely. Oh, phenomenal to have all of that drama come down. Well, still ahead on Golf Central, the PGA Tour's fall schedule is in the books. With 4 first-time winners, Tripp tells you which player in that group has the edge to make it to the Tour Championship next fall. Plus, 2 tour seasons came to an end on Sunday. Coming up, what next season could hold for the top American, that being Lexi Thompson. And we go one-on-one with the European Tour's chief executive to find out how his tour is innovating to grow its fan base. It's all ahead on Golf Central.
Golf Central is brought to you by Titleist, the #1 ball at the RSM Classic. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.